in this controversy?
I mean, for me, I don't feel like I'm in any controversy. I mean, for me, I'm just trying to figure out what I got to do to move on to Phoenix. So, yeah, I felt like, everything that happened Sunday was out of my control.
Mm-hmm.
I was just trying to make playoff spots, and we were in regardless.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even if you go back to the caution, before that 6 to go caution, we were in by 6 or 7 points. So, yeah, just trying to figure out what we need to do to move on to Phoenix. And, I think we have a pretty good car this weekend, so just trying to capitalize on that.
Parker posted that raw data. He said you sent it. I mean, is that what you did?
Yeah. It's kind of sickening because if I did it that one lap, I should have been able to do it every lap. So, yeah, there's a lot of, honestly, it's probably pretty stupid looking back on it that I sent it that hard. I didn't even know what my point situation was. I knew whenever I went into turn 5 that they said I needed one spot. I knew I'd made up the one spot, but I didn't know if somebody else could pass somebody. So it was kind of a winner wear move. After I went back and watched it, I realized I was already in. I was kind of disappointed in myself because that definitely had a lot more chance of going wrong than it did going right. But yeah, definitely sent it. Glad it stuck. I think a lot of this was the new tires and the air pressure and stuff we had. But yeah, definitely glad it worked out because it definitely could have been a lot worse for sure.
So given the penalties against the 41 team, the penalties against the 4 team the week before that, what's been like the general mood at Stewart Haas Racing the last few weeks?
Tony's thrilled.
Yeah, it's obviously it's been disappointing, right? But at the same time, it's been really encouraging that we're in the Final Four. Or not the Final Four, but in the Final 8 and have a shot to still win a championship. I think that's the one thing. If we would have been knocked out, then obviously the mood would have been pretty bad. I would say the whole rest of the season. But there is a lot to still focus on with being having a shot to still win the championship. So I think that's the one positive is that we still have that going for us as a company. Yeah, it's definitely, it's been no secret. It's been a rough couple of weeks as a company, going back to Texas and everything that went on with DJ and then, the 98 truck wrecks coming out here. It's just been a really tough couple of weeks for Stewart Haas Racing. So glad that we can kind of be that one kind of small, light and all that we still have a shot. And, definitely, trying to keep the spirits up over there for sure.
Looking back on last week, do you prefer to know your point situation or do you prefer going in, like you said, not knowing?
For me, it doesn't really matter what our point situation is until the final race of the round and, that final stage. Up until that point, you really don't know what's going on anyways. And, I didn't even know what our point situation was really until probably 20 to go just because I didn't really – it changes so much. You can't really pay attention to it until the end. There's a lot of guys that thought they were in, their crew chiefs thought they were in, and at the end, it just changes so fast. So, yeah, until we get to the final race, the final round, it doesn't really matter for me. But, yeah, definitely at the end, want to know, what's going on, what I need to do. It's just things change so fast. If one guy gains a spot that's way behind you, well, then that's another point you got to make up. So it's just hard I feel like it's hard to even know what you need to do inside the race car. And for my side, I just try to pass everybody I can. If I pass as many guys as I can, if it's enough, then it's enough. And if it's not, then it's not.
What did you think when you saw Custer appear to be slowing?
I felt like everybody was slowing down because I drove in so far. I felt like, relative to how far I drove in, it seemed like everybody was kind of way farther back in the corners. So, yeah, I think the 8 was probably 20 car lengths ahead of Cole, and I felt like I was 10 back from Cole, probably 6 back from the 3 off of 2 at the big track, and when we went into that chicane, I was probably 4 car lengths off Reddick, so I drove in so far. I felt like everybody kind of seemed like they were backed up. For me, I was just trying to get every spot I could, and like I said, I wish I would have known that I was already in because I definitely wouldn't even try to throw that Hail Mary.
You talked about last week it being one of the 8 with Matt, and I'm curious, 4 weeks left in the season, do you envision yourself winning a championship, or can an athlete not look that far ahead?
I think you need to think about it because if you can't think about it, then you probably don't think you have a shot in the first place, and I feel like we have a shot. For me, definitely, you don't think you're for sure going to win it, right? But you got to think you can win it. For sure, I've thought about that moment.
Jared Haas with Frontstretch.com. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, check one of those 2 videos out that we have right beside you. Visit Frontstretch.com for more great content.